Hi there, Matthias speaking, and as usual I am the one representing you Flame Fusion software as it releases, and today we're going to talk about an upcoming game that we will hopefully get on the Steam gaming platform. I've been bugged all day long for people asking me to make this video, so here it is. It's not going to be very detailed, and as you'll notice I haven't really prepared a lot. It's just going to be something quick. I have a lot of mess on my desktop. I have a lot of stuff running. I'm just using my computer as I normally would while I'm doing this, so don't expect anything big. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a quick demonstration of the game. If you don't know what a tower defense game is already, you shouldn't even be watching this movie, because I'm not going to tell you what a tower defense game is. I'm basically just going to show you the progress that we've made so far, and we've only been into 1 week of development or so. I think actually 4 days of working, 4 working days would be more suitable for the amount of time that we've put into it. And this is what we've got so far, and don't get scared, because what you'll see is entirely customizable. In the beginning you'll see a lot of mess. What you see right now is the tower defense in action. I can pan around, I can see what's going on, and at first it seems really confusing, and like what's going on everywhere and so on. I can zoom if I want to get a closer look, but what's really happening is that the green areas, the green fields, are spawn areas. These areas spawn units really quickly, and they spawn several types of units, and the red areas are walls. The units can't go through walls, and they have to find the shortest path to the destination areas, which are marked by blue in the bottom. On their way, my objective is to block these units from getting there, and I block these units from getting there by building towers. The towers are the gray fields, the 6 gray fields that I've positioned in this map, and as you can see they're already in the progress of shooting units as they arrive. Now this all looks incredibly messy, incredibly bad, and not very balanced. Well, here's the thing. This is a map that I generated in less than 5 minutes, and I'm not kidding. That's actually how long it took for me to make this map. And that's what we really want to do with this game. We want the player to define the content. We don't want to do anything ourselves in that area. So this game is going to be multiplayer, going to support up to 8 players of simultaneous gameplay over LAN or internet, and it's going to be built up so that players will have kind of like a global map list where they can try each other's maps out, rated by whatever people think about it, and so on. And it's gonna be quite awesome. So you're all together, and your objective is to build new towers and defend your way against the enemy. And the enemies get hotter and hotter, or well, the player can define that, of course. So here's what we have so far. Notice the map layout. Try to remember that. Try to remember how it looks like. And then we'll go to the configuration file that represents that map. I'm just using WordPad for this configuration file. Any text editor can be used. But this is basically the map layout. As you can see, all the 2s in the map are walls, all the 3s are spawn areas, 4s are spawn destination points, and 1s are towers. Now this seems pretty simple at first, but doesn't really add up a lot of customization, does it? I mean, we could define a map like this with a different maze layout where you had more chances to build mazes out of your towers or whatnot, but it's not really what we want to give the user, so we decided to add some more. Down here I can define the space. The space is represented by an empty space in this case. So everywhere where there's empty spaces, there will be empty tiles as well. So I can actually add more definitions to these tiles, but we'll get to that later. I can show you that under towers. See, tower is defined as 1, but what if I want 2 different towers? Well, I can do that. Now 8 and 9 will also be their own types of towers, and these towers might shoot different projectiles. We can configure that later. So as we go lower down, we see that we can also define the destination points and the spawn points. There are some map settings. I can adjust the tile size, the difficulty level, how difficult is this map from 1 to 1000. I can adjust the background color. Now here's some other stuff. The wave manager options, they don't really work that yet. They're experimental, but they basically define they're basically going to define what's the highest wave to complete this map, -1 if infinite. What's gonna how much does the waves improve per wave, like how much does their attributes improve as for the units, how much better do they become, and how much harder do they become to beat. We're still working on making it able to customize more later on. Okay, so we've defined that one of the spawn points in this area is called 3, and here I can then define the options of spawn area 3. I can here in this case I've specified that this spawn point should spawn 2 types of units, so, a spawn pool A and a spawn pool B. So here we've defined our spawn pool A options, and we defined that it should spawn unit 1. It should do that every 5 seconds, and it should do that from between wave 0 and unlimited. These waves settings don't really work yet either. Furthermore, we have spawn pool B here that spawns unit 2 in an interval of 500 milliseconds, that's 0.5 seconds, and it spawns in the same wave areas. So here I define unit 1 and 2. Unit 1 has this color, this size, that speed, this impact, and this and that health, and so on. Unit 2 is a bit smaller, but it's yet faster and has less health. So I defined it this way to make it more balanced. Here I define the options of the space. This looks weird and syntax-wise, but that's because I can use any character, and as we've defined earlier, we can see that I defined a space as being an actual space. I could also have made a question mark or anything, so any character can be defined. Here I can define the size of this. It doesn't really matter when I don't really have a color on it, then I can't really see the square. It should be noted that above in the spawn area here I can also define the colors and so on of that, but I left that out of it just to show you some quick options. Okay, so here are the towers. I've defined 1 tower now, actually 3, and we're going to add settings for the next towers later. So right now we've only added settings for tower 1. And I can then specify which projectile pools this tower should use, which color it has, and what size it has. So again, projectile pools are kind of like spawn pools. They are some kind of helping tool, some kind of guideline that helps us have one tower shoot different types of projectiles at different intervals. Just like we want a spawn point to spawn different units at different intervals. So in this scenario we have a projectile pool called A, and it's bound to tower 1, and it spawns the projectile 1 and does it in a range of it has a maximum range of 200, that projectile, and it has an interval of 2000, so it shoots every 2 seconds. Now for the projectile itself that we've defined for this area, it should be noted that this projectile pool, by the way, only shoots 1 unit. We haven't defined more, but we can define more at different intervals and so on. So for this projectile, we've defined that it shouldn't always hit. It shouldn't be a homing projectile. It should have white color. Its splash range should be 30, which is quite a lot. Its minimum damage should be 20, and its maximum damage should be 30, and we want an explosion effect. So, given all these informations, let's try to look at everything again and see how it looks like. Actually, I'm just going to remove these definitions again. Wait, I would probably need to define tower. I'm just going to make tower 8 and 9 now, so that we have these options settled. And we probably shouldn't be using same spawn pool, so I'm gonna define some more of these. B should be using projectile 2, and C should be using projectile 3. And maybe this one should have a spawn interval of 200, and we need to define all the projectiles now. We're just going to copy paste this a few times, We're going to define it as 2 and 3, and we're then going to give it settings. 2 was the fast projectile, so we don't really want that to have any splash, or barely any splash at least. We don't want it to damage that much, maybe 5 to 10. We want to define it as entirely red. By the way, the last channel here is alpha, how transparent the actual color is. Okay, so let's just hope that this works. I'm not even sure as well, because this is a very early alpha, so it might actually crash while running this. Let's just hope for the best. And it seems to be loading, and as we can see now, we're not really getting within range with the red projectiles. We've defined the range to be 200, but as you can see, there's really a lot of stuff that's getting shot all the time, and the towers are just firing away. We've defined the size of our projectile, we've defined how it should look like, what kind of effect it should have, and so on. There are several effects: lightning, spray, fire, poison. There's going to be a lot of elements that you can choose from, so everything is quite customizable. In other words, we can construct our own maps the way we want to and define how this whole thing should be working. So that's it for now. This is after like 5 days of development, so we could really see some potential in this, and hopefully we'll also get permission to release it on Steam. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. I hope you liked it. Stay tuned.